Hey, good morning everybody. Matt Zerby here from Wasco Nursery, and coming to you on a fairly chilly late September morning. And I wanted to talk to you about this tree that's right behind me. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the way and show you. This is an eastern white pine, and I get a lot of phone calls, emails, Facebook messages, etc. at this time of year, wondering what's going on with my specifically evergreen trees, or in general evergreen trees, specifically white pine and oftentimes arborvitae. And obviously the concern is that, I'm going to back up here a little bit, this tree, white pine, perfectly green. This tree shedding a lot of yellowy brown or orangey yellow needles in there. And you got a big pile of needles all over the ground. And so if you've not noticed that before, that can be a little bit of alarming for sure. So what's going on here is this tree is shedding out its 3-year needles. White pine only keeps 2 years worth of needles over the winter time. And so what it's doing is it's shedding out its 3-year-old needles to make room for next year's spring growth. And so these needles that are turning yellow over the next 2 to 3 weeks are all going to fall out and will be on the ground like you see here. That's why if you go to a big pine forest or a big stand of pine trees, you will see, several inches thick of needles on the floor of the of that stand or of that forest. Now, why is this one over here not turning yellow yet? Honestly, no good reason. I have noticed that sometimes they shed very quickly all at once. This particular tree was all or fully green about 4 days ago, and now has a substantial amount of yellow in it. My guess is that the neighboring tree here will look like that with the yellowing needles in a matter of a week or so. But anyway, it is absolutely nothing to be alarmed about. There is nothing you can do about it. It is a natural growth process for white pines and arborvitae and conifers or evergreens of all varieties. Some will be more abrupt like this, whereas with other plants like this blue spruce right over here, they will shed periodically throughout the season, so you never really see quite the drastic change that you see in a tree like this one right here. So like I said, nothing you need to do about this at all. If you have newly planted evergreens, I would recommend at least once or twice during October and once or twice during November, give them a good watering. And by a good watering, I recommend placing a hose at the base of the tree, let it trickle for 20 to 30 minutes or 30 to 40 minutes, and then let it dry out for 2 weeks. It's really important that evergreens go into winter with some extra moisture, so that's a really good way of doing it. We got a ½ inch of rain here in St. Charles over the last couple of days, but that's really not enough to go real deep for evergreen trees, nor does it get underneath the canopy of the tree all that well. So especially if you have a newer tree like this one right here, if you have a newer tree, you can see, in fact, if I look down here, you can see that the ground is fairly dark, the mulch is dark around the outside. But if I go just inside the tree a little bit, you can actually see just right there the distinct change in color. And that's because the canopy of the tree has shed the moisture out to the outer portions of the tree. And since this is a newly planted tree, we want to make sure that we get water to its root zone, which at this point is still underneath the tree in the root ball. So let's put a hose underneath the tree and give it a good watering. I hope that helps. And if you ever have any questions, or if you've got concerns, feel free to email us, call us, text us, or send us a Facebook message. Thanks.